$1 hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too. Visit us online at c3adjusters.com and learn how we can help you save time and get claims paid faster.
Happy Friday, everyone. Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for a busy hail forecast for this daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group and Merlin Law Group. Both of their pages, as always, are in the description below, and you can check them out at your leisure, whether it's now or after the video. Before we get into the forecast for today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and beyond that, we're just going to mention that on Tuesday we'll be in Kansas City for Company Cam's Highway to Hail Tour. It is going to continue through the end of this month and end on May 3rd in Chicago. We'll be at all of them. At least one of us, I believe Matt, will be in Kansas City on April 16th. How's it going? As I'm going to shout and see you there. Website and the app are live and have been for a while now. But if you're just jumping back on, you haven't been with us the past few months, no problem. We can help you guys get all set up. I know the website's completely different, a little confusing to work through, seeing how things have changed significantly. Or if you need any guidance or training, you can give us a call and we can help you guys out at 855-334-4245. Stick to the end of the video and it'll be up on the screen as well. We also do live trainings on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you are unable to set up an individual training and want to be more in a group setting. So that forecast for today, we got a lot to talk about here. First things up is the forecast for tonight. So this isn't necessarily going to be, this afternoon or evening or anything. It's actually going to be, again, I feel like it's probably the fourth or fifth time this happened this year, talking about stuff that's going to be overnight leading into the next day. So this little yellow right have down here in Mississippi and Louisiana, that's going to be this afternoon and evening. Maybe some isolated storms up to some quarter-size hail, but for the most part, it really looks like it's going to be not a big deal, and it's going to be in a pretty rural area unless something can meander over Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Now, going into this evening, however, it looks like down by Mexico, or right over here at the end of my little forecast area, closest to the Rio Grande, it looks like we could see hail I have up to 2 inches here, but probably up towards baseball size to get any of those isolated supercells to really get going. And that's going to be, again, tonight. It's not going to start till about 11, 12 o'clock tonight, and then it's all going to move towards Abilene and Dallas, the I-20 corridor, probably close to daybreak tomorrow morning. So this 15 and 20% here and up to 2-inch hail for Abilene and Dallas, that is going to be very late tonight and going into your day tomorrow morning, where we then lead into a very significant severe weather event for areas just east of the Dallas area. So again, 15% chance for Dallas going in here. I'm going to kill the chat. Oops. I killed my audio, guys. Sorry about that. I tried to kill the chat. Hit the wrong button. Anyway, so going back, let's rewind this a little bit here. From 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Apologize, I hit the wrong button, guys. Okay, yeah, don't worry. It's coming back. Just wait a second here. Anyway, yeah, so again, 2-inch hail possible. Again, storms are going to go up. They're going to kind of be a little intense for a little while and then probably die off, and there's that risk we could see a squall line. So all the storms could combine and become a squall line by the time they move towards the Dallas area, which is the lower chance of hail. I'm saying 15% chance, and of that, a 10% chance we see a 3-star map or better. It is very possible we can only see some quarter-size hail or possibly a wind event, but right now I'm leaning towards a more convective regime where you're going to see more big-time hail. So, all right, good. We're back with the, I know there's a bit of a delay there. Again, I just killed the chat for just a second. Of course, I hit the audio button by accident. They're right next to each other. I probably should move them. Abilene, Texas, a little bit earlier, probably around anywhere between midnight and 6 a.m. There's some indication storms are going to form pretty much right on top of you or just off to your west. Other indications, nothing forms then, and it's going to be the stuff that forms way out west by Mexico, and they eventually move over your area. Either way, I think you could see up to 2-inch, maybe even tennis ball size hail if you get a good isolated supercell to move through. And then at 20% chance, so I think it's higher for Abilene, even though it's a much smaller area, higher chance for hail in Abilene, and a 15% chance of it being a 3-star map or better. And again, that's only because Abilene is nowhere near as large as the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, about the size of Connecticut, versus Abilene, which is your more average range city size. So again, 15% chance that you get a 3-star map or better, 20% chance of hail, 2-inch hail is your maximum. We're going to see future radar here. I had to use the HRRR model from a few hours ago. We only have 36-hour runs a couple times a day. And this one, you see the storms form way down here. These are going to be monsters. And then you got to watch all the stuff as see how it kind of develops up. It's not just a squall line that's raging towards the area. So as the storms keep developing up, that's where you're going to see that hail come into play as they explode out in front of it. And it might be just more of a mixed mess of supercells all on top of each other, but that will be producing hail and it'll be moving into the Dallas region. This particular run has it coming after daybreak and be technically on Saturday. So it looks like, dang it. So it looks like things are going to be a little more on the, okay, where do we go? Let's go hail. Something start to get going already. So it looks like it's going to be more the possibility that we're going to have a very late night and then into the early morning hours tomorrow, things will be off to the races right when you wake up in the morning. So, looking at your forecast for your Saturday, I do whip out the purple here for the first time this year, where I think Saturday is going to be the big day. So all the days this weekend, I think tomorrow is going to be your biggest day, the one that might make the news. We could see some fairly significant tornadoes across, especially areas in this purple region, especially northern half of Louisiana, southern sections of Arkansas, and then even into Mississippi as well into the overnight hours. We could see, again, very strong, possibly violent tornadoes with this. Again, we don't focus on tornadoes, but on the hail side of things, it's a little bit more convoluted. Yes, I have up to 4.25-inch hail. Shreveport or Bossier City, yes, definitely those. I'd say in terms of population centers, I had to put the bullseye on there right now. I would say Shreveport, Louisiana. I think you have a very good chance of seeing some really intense severe weather tomorrow. Monroe, Louisiana, same basic thing. Monroe, anywhere along, was this I-30, I think, that goes across the northern half of Louisiana, that whole area, you're at the highest risk of everywhere else. So in terms of this big-time hail, so the 4.25-inch, this isn't a broad, like any storm's going to be doing this. These are going to be the supercells that really go dominant. They're dropping tornadoes. That's where you're going to see that very large hail. Other storms, there's a couple parameters that we look at for what develops a big-time hail. I-20. Okay, so right along I-20 in Louisiana, all those cities there, that's going to be your highest risk for tomorrow. But with that, again, the grapefruit to softball size hail, that's only going to be in the strongest supercells. Most of the supercells, I could see, you might be struggling to get some to the quarter of the golf ball size range is more likely. I think what's going to happen is one of the main parameters, the lapse rates, one of the things that where the best hail growth isn't as crazy as other stuff we've seen before, even on like days where Dallas gets blasted. So it really looks like we're probably going to be more not insane big hail producers for everything, but just the strongest storms are going to be crazy, and then all the other ones are going to be more mid-range in terms of the hail forecast. If that makes any sense to you guys, I mean, kind of normal for how events like this pan out. So it really looks like we could see a pretty violent day tomorrow. If you live in Louisiana, northern half of Louisiana, definitely be weather aware because that risk for tornadoes is quite high. The Storm Prediction Center is already at a moderate risk. This could go to a high risk, so just keep that in mind. Again, we don't really cover the tornadoes too much, but I do feel the need to kind of mention that as that big hail risk is also there. So this is the future radar. I'm going to step out of the way so you see Dallas gets hit there early in the morning, and then all these fire up, string of pearls we like to call it, a big time severe weather event likely going into your day tomorrow. It's going to be very busy here. Frank's not even at the office today. He is the one who is on call. we're going to be getting going tonight after 10, 11, 12 o'clock. We might be going all the way through to Sunday at the Hail Palace. So we got a lot of energy drinks, a lot of coffee here ready to rock and roll on this. You see all this happening. And then another thing of interest is these storms back here. This is the Austin area when it rolls back towards the evening hours. A couple other storms forming in central Texas. We'll have to watch that very carefully as well as other things maybe forming off to the west behind this. So again, not only are we going to see a lot of storms, possibly multiple rounds of storms going, this is all going to push east for your day on Sunday, where that hail threat will continue to be there. I see Ron's asking about Kansas City and going into next week. Don't worry, we're going to talk about that now as we move towards that 5-day forecast. We have a lot to talk about. So after we move through this weekend, things are going to be calm for about a day and a half, 2 days. Then we're going to reload and reset for next week for the next major event looking likely as we move towards next week. So we have on Friday here, again, this is today, that 10% of a 3-star map. Honestly, the better chance is going to be once you're on the day on Saturday, so I'm keeping that kind of low. 2-inch hail, high population since Dallas is in there. Saturday is the first time I've had 40% of 3-star map or better this year. I'm pretty confident we're going to see somebody get popped with something pretty good here. Up to softball, grapefruit, whatever you want to call it, over 4-inch hail for your maximum hail size like I mentioned. And again, high population. Sunday, we're down to a 5% chance of a 3-star, only because we got to see how tomorrow plays out. We get a big raging squall line at the end of the evening tomorrow. We're probably not going to see big time hail on Sunday, though if it kind of weakens a little bit, you have time for the atmosphere to calm down, we get more supercells, then Sunday could be a big day. So right now, I'm keeping kind of modest about it. The golf ball size hail, 5%. High population, though, I'll show you guys where in just a second. Monday, we calm down, we reload. This system's on go off the coast. We're not going to have any moisture available at the moment and nothing to really make it happen anyway. But we get to Tuesday and things start to reset. It's what we like to call the day before the day, where we could see a couple isolated storms form. And I think Wednesday and Thursday next week are going to be very busy as well. So looking ahead at that look-ahead map on Sunday, this area of concern is pretty broad here. I think anywhere from pretty much Birmingham, Alabama to Atlanta, even by Nashville, most of Kentucky, and way up, possibly even as far north as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, have a chance of seeing some amount of hail. If I had to lean on which side of the country is going to have that better chance for hail, I probably am going to say more towards the northern half, so from probably Nashville north, I think there's a better chance we can see some more isolated activity here and you get a better chance for some hail. Further to the south, there's that risk. Again, we could see a squall line moving through and that would really temper that. But again, it's all going to come down to how tomorrow plays out. Of course, we'll have a forecast video tomorrow, possibly earlier than noon, depending on how things play out in the morning. We may be rocking and rolling by 12 o'clock tomorrow, so just stick with us here, and we will do our best to do a forecast video earlier to try to get ahead of the main activity. So again, this is the area of concern on Sunday. DFW could get hit with 4.25 this heats up. No, not Dallas. Dallas is not going to possibly see up to softballs. I mean, well, Dallas can only see softballs. But I think the best hail risk, that's east of Dallas. That's going to be Louisiana's the softball size. Like, I think Dallas could see up to 2-inch hail, and if that could change if we see more isolated activity, but softballs, I'm not saying for Dallas tomorrow. Anyway, so low hail threat on Monday, and then Tuesday, again, this is this day before the day we like to say. There could be only a couple storms forming here in western Oklahoma, maybe down Texas, up in south central sections of Kansas. Again, 1 or 2 storms may form with that. It could be very possibly almost nothing could form with that, but we move ahead to Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see much more activity there. I got to show you guys this. You see that moisture returns here. There's your Wednesday, and then moving in towards Thursday there. So everywhere from Kansas City, St. Louis, even up possibly as far north as Chicago could all see a risk here. Again, we'll loop it back. See that moisture coming up for your Wednesday. You see that there Wednesday, go towards Thursday, I mean. And then it pushes off the coast on Friday. It looks like that weekend will be a little quiet as we reload again for the next system that'll probably be pushing out that last week of April as well. So again, a lot more activity is expected to come in here. I know somebody mentioned the April Fool's Day joke I did, or just Dallas is getting a risk. I know a lot of you guys feel like it's Dallas, but I'm telling you now, you see, we have a much bigger, broader risk for storms. We get a little later in April here, we're getting a lot more moisture to work with. I think we could see possibly quite a bit of activity across the Great Lakes region, across areas like Kansas City, going into your week next week. We'll keep you guys all up to date with that as always. We'll have videos probably throughout the weekend. We'll do any live coverage, even if it happens at 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning in Dallas or Abilene. We'll still do live coverage. I may be pretty tired, but we'll still do it. And we'll do that all through this weekend with any events that occur. So that's why you got to follow us here on Facebook especially, or have those notifications set up on YouTube, ring the bell, whatever crap you got to do to make sure you get notifications from us on YouTube, because I know quite a few of you guys like YouTube. Hit see first, get ahead of that algorithm on Facebook, so that way when we do go live, even at some random time, it'll be right at the top of your newsfeed when you get up, so you can check that out and any maps that we make. Again, tomorrow's forecast may not be at 12 o'clock. It may be, it might honestly be just I'm doing live coverage and I kind of just go into a forecast in the middle of it. We have to see how it is. We're all going to die. We're not all going to die. And so that's what we're going to see for tomorrow. Give us a call, email us, or visit our website. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have, as always. And you can follow us here on Instagram. I'm trying to do some posts on there. We'll be posting the forecast for today and for tomorrow as actual posts on Instagram, so you guys can see that. And we'll be doing stuff throughout the weekend as well. Not a storm chasing event. It's too far to the east. Storm chasing out in the jungle is not fun. So, but I think next week we'll have a much better chance for storm chasing. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, any questions right now, you can put it in the comments section below. I'm going to thumb through the comments here and see how many people yelled at me about turning the microphone off, and then try to answer any questions I might have missed on while we were looking through here. I killed my own audio. Anything for Eagle Pass? Yes, that's very possible tonight, as storms may form just off into Mexico and then cross the border. So Eagle Pass is possible. I think things might form a little to your north, but it is definitely possible you could see some. And now I killed my sound. I already answered those. What chances for Houston? Right now, George, it really looks like Houston, most of the activity is going to be to your north, but I can't rule it out. There have them in the chance. We could get lucky and get a storm form that far to the south, but you're pretty separated from the main forcing where the best instability is going to be. But hey, anything's possible in the Houston area. We'll be watching that carefully as always. I know a lot of folks in Houston want a big storm to happen. We'll just kind of see if Mother Nature throws us a bone with that one. Okay, Maryland, yes, hopefully maybe Maryland can get in there. And then Dallas, again, that's going to be tonight, late overnight into the early morning hours tomorrow. You get anything isolated, we could see some pretty big hail. But if it's going to be more of a mess, we could see hail a little smaller, maybe wind threat a little bit bigger. We're just going to have to kind of see how things play out. Honestly, it's just how it's going to play. Kansas needs some hail. Yes, it does. Kansas hasn't really had too much yet. I think next week that is going to change. All right, guys, I think everything is pretty quiet here. Viewers falling off a little bit, so I'm going to wrap this up. Continue to put if you're watching this not live, put comments in the comment section below. I'll try to keep an eye on stuff through this afternoon, try to answer any questions you may have, whether it's on the Hail Trace page or my own personal Facebook responding to it. So feel free to put that in there if you're not watching this live. I'll see you guys again hopefully tonight or tomorrow, and we will go. We'll see what happens. We'll do those hail dances. Maybe we can get some live coverage in there of a big city getting hit, or hopefully not by a tornado, but by big hail. And we'll be back for a live hail forecast, most likely here at some point in the morning tomorrow before 12 p.m. Birmingham or Montgomery, more likely on Sunday than on Saturday. Chances, I'd say, kind of low right now. We've got to see how Saturday plays out. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a great rest of your Friday if I don't see you. And if you tune in late tonight, well, hey, get some coffee ready. It might be in for a hell of a ride. Have a great rest of your Friday, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow.